Good day. Good day. My name is Sylvester Vulani Mangolele Madala. South Africa is on my shoulders. I serve and defend my country and its people in accordance with the Constitution and the law, and with honor, dignity, courage, and integrity. I serve in the South African National Defence Force with loyalty and pride, as a citizen and a volunteer. I do not advance or harm the interest of any political party or organization. I accept personal responsibility for my actions. I obey all lawful commands and respect my superiors. I refuse to obey a manifestly illegal order. I carry out my mission with courage and assist my comrade in arms, even at the risk of my own life. I treat all people fairly and respect their rights and dignity at all times, regardless of race, ethnicity, gender, culture, language, or sexual orientation. I respect and support my subordinates and treat them fairly. I do not abuse my authority, public or position or public funds for personal gain, political motive, or any other reason. I report criminal activity, corruption, and misconduct to the appropriate authority. I improve the capabilities of the South African National Defence Force by maintaining discipline, safeguarding property, developing skills and knowledge, and performing my duties diligently and professionally. I am the South African National Defence Force. I defend the Republic of South Africa and its people. I am the pride of the nation. I consist of the Army, the Air Force, the South African Navy, and the South African Military Health Services, all encompassing to one unified force, which is the South African National Defence Force. The orientation of the Republic of which the border I serve and defend is as displayed in your screen. Each and everything in the country and all its people is what I serve and defend in accordance with the Constitution and the law, including the territorial integrity and national sovereignty of the Republic and our democracy, our skies, our seas, and all our land and the borders of it. As a nation, equal in the family of nations in the universe. The organizational values that the DoD has committed itself are rooted in individual values, codes of conduct, and unit cohesion. In delivering the defense mission, the Department of Defense continue to pursue and adhere to the following organizational values: accountability, We shall create a learning organization in which all employees seek and share knowledge and information, whilst committing themselves to personal growth. We shall lead by example and influence others to follow these principles. We shall be sensible to the requirements we make of our people and recognize the unique commitments and contribution they make. Consultation rooted in effective and efficient partnership and collaboration, we shall encourage and improve links with other government departments, relevant organs of state, and identified stakeholders. We will strengthen partnerships with industry, allies, and the community at large. We shall promote collaboration within the Department of Defense, harmonize activities and systems, and where sensible, share knowledge. Discipline, we shall consistently uphold a high level of discipline. We shall individually and collectively sustain and safeguard the profile and image of the defense establishment as a disciplined profession. We shall adopt and encourage reasonable working practices. We shall not be deflected by the demands of own vested interest, but those of the Department of Defense. We shall foster fairness and trustworthy in all that we do. We shall not ignore difficult situations or issues. In excellence, we shall build on what we do well and actively foster a climate of success. We shall invest in our people and encourage innovation. We shall, where possible, provide appropriate incentives and recognize individuals and team contributions. On 4 February 2016, the then Manager Technical Upkeep Section MTAS, Captain Mtetwa, and Officer Commanding Fleet Maintenance Unit, Captain Lamola, brought me before Director Fleet Logistic Rear Admiral Junior Grade Mkondo and assured him that I was the right man for the job. The job, which included an internal investigation on repairable workshops at Naval Stores Depot, Wingfield, in which I, 99004046MC, Lieutenant Commander Sylvester Wolane Mangolele, were instructed to conduct an internal investigation into the possible recapacitation of the repairable workshops at Naval Stores Depot, Wingfield. And in my investigation, I should look at, but not be limited to, the following: the provisions approved, the previous approved structures, reasons for discontinued structures, requirements to reinstitute such structure, feasibility or reinstituting such a structure, and I am to report bi-monthly on this investigation directly to Rear Admiral Mkondo. And in doing so, a feasibility study on general naval workshops by myself as Technical Support and Services Manager prevailed, in which empowerment to the young so as to have a better future is what must be achieved. A report in that regard was written to address a situation which includes to have these particular vessels sitting alongside and not doing their mandate as they are employed to do. They are currently a situation in which and our nation would not be proud of. It is in this report where in the foreword I have stated that, albeit to some degree politically sensitive, the facts in this report are not sugar-coated. They come raw as they are. A lot of these facts are known and nothing or very little has been done about them thus far. If it is somewhat reported to be done, such reporting is a get off my back and a ceremonious type of an approach. The expense, required investment, organizational paradigm shift that yields effective, efficient, and economic output are noted in this particular report, which was released on 12 August 2016. It is in this aim where one had intended to report on the internal investigation into the possible recapacitation of the repairable workshops at NSD Wingfield, and having regard of the OODA loop, where one has to observe, orientate, decide, act, and produce what needs to be done. One would take into account this particular video. Where observation is conducted, and in conducting such observation, the truth is told during the orientation of that regard, as you have to describe, analyze, and explain everything in that particular observation. The reality is a decision which leads to an action, and such action will be as a result of conviction. A conviction into the aggravating reality that leads to the dissolution of our republic and its people. A continuous loop in observation in which one has to describe then follows, and similar argument then ensues. Forecasting and anticipating result into action. Such action and prescription result into what exactly needs to happen, which is to fulfill the mandate of an Act of Parliament in terms of the South African Defence Review 2014 to arrest the decline in critical capabilities through immediate directed interventions. And it did, indeed, with an immediate intervention, take at least 5 years to arrest the decline, and I hope that it does not take another 5 years to develop limited and sustainable defense capability. The longer the neglect is perpetuated, the greater the effort, time, and cost that would be necessary to arrest the decline and restore the minimum capabilities required to safeguard South African borders, protect its maritime trade routes, conduct peace missions and humanitarian interventions, safeguard South Africa and its people, and defend and protect the country against external aggression. The strategic outcome-orientated goal of the Department of Defense encompasses the central purposes of the Department of Defense and includes the following three main elements. A comprehensive defense capabilities are defended and enhanced or maintained. Peace, stability, and security in the Republic of South Africa, region, continent, and world are promoted. The people of South Africa are promoted. Having regard of these particular realities, action followed. And it is in such an action in which the reality of our country and its people was forwarded to the Chief of the South African National Defence Force. And in forwarding such reality, the following terms were advanced. In a letter dated 1 July, Chief of the South African National Defence Force, submission to return to unit and reinstitution in service and defense of my country and its people. I act in terms of Section 1995 of the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa, Act 108 of 1996, and respect the functions of the Chief of the South African National Defence Force in terms of Section 14 of the Defence Act 42 of 2002, obligating compliance to statutory provisions that the Defence Force must respect fundamental rights and dignities of its members and all persons, by providing me and my children with a suitable place to live effective immediately, reinstituting immediately payment of my salary including all benefits, respecting, protecting, promoting, and fulfilling my rights enshrined in the Bill of Rights. Chief of the South African Defence Force, National Defence Force, you, myself, and any member of the South African National Defence Force work for the state that must respect, protect, promote, and fulfill the rights in the Bill of Rights, as obligated in terms of Section 7(2) of the Constitution. To engage with me is how you respect, protect, promote, and fulfill my rights enshrined in the Bill of Rights, and stop punishing me for an act committed by other persons, and intimidating or coercing me to do, or to refrain from doing anything. Severe pain or suffering, both physical and mental, is intentionally inflicted on me. In simple terms, I am tortured. And the opposite of my constitutional guarantees not to be tortured in any way is achieved. I could employ Rule 612A of the Uniform Court Rules to resolve this dispute by the application of law decided in a fair public hearing before the High Court of the Republic of South Africa, but I am being forced to believe that a person, Judge Hlophe, or organ of state, Judge President, must interfere with the functioning of the courts. A gross violation of an imposed constitutional obligation provided for in terms of Section 1655 of the Constitution. I am forced to believe that it is lawful and acceptable to declare any person a vexatious litigant without hearing such person, or granting him an opportunity of being heard as obligated by the statutory provisions of Section 21B of the Vexatious Proceedings Act 3 of 1956. And in any event, the judiciary refuses to apply the provisions of Section 21C of the Act and at any time rescind or vary an order so given. Yet I am forced to believe that the court order is in terms of Section 21B and 1C of the Vexatious Proceedings Act. I submit that the judiciary is corrupt and it is one critical deadline that must be arrested through immediate directed interventions. Please give me a chance to explain and debrief. I am caused to believe that it is wrong to do right and good for the country and its people. I am caused to believe that it is wrong to father my children. I am forced to believe that corruption is more powerful than the South African National Defence Force. I am forced to believe that the Constitution is not the supreme law of the Republic. I am forced to believe that it is right or constitutional to be presumed guilty until proven innocent. I am caused to believe that no one has a right to represent themselves in court. I refuse to believe this false. I refuse to believe that it is lawful to arbitrarily or without just cause discharge a person who is simply doing his job to save the Republic hundreds of millions in operational cost. I am without accommodation. I need accommodation. Theoretical differences shall be elaborated in an appropriate independent and impartial tribunal or forum, compensation board, constituted in terms of Section 57 of the Defence Act. Section 57(2) of the Defence Act provides that any member or former member of the Defence Force who has suffered any damage or loss as a result of an act or omission arising from any training or service under this Act, whether or not legal proceedings have been or are to be instituted, may in writing apply to the compensation board established by subsection 3 for compensation, setting out fully the grounds on which the application is based, the extent and nature of the damage or loss, and the compensation desired. I am without salary for the past 34 months as a result of abuse of power and gross violation of the Constitution or the law, gross misconduct or inability to perform the functions of office. In the past 34 months, people had operated their office based on personalities and not professionalism. There's a decline in critical capabilities. In no event did the President notify me in writing of any complaint or charge made against me of any action proposed to be taken in respect thereof, nor calling me upon to show cause in relation to my permanent commission being cancelled as obligated in terms of Section 54(3)(a) of the Defence Act. It is disrespectful to the authority of the President to refer to me as Mr. instead of my rank. In no event was I convicted to imprisonment for a period not exceeding 5 years following an obligation imposed in terms of Section 105 of the Defence Act as unlawfully and intentionally misrepresented in the DoD PERSOL system to cause me actual or potential prejudice from 8 August 2018. In no event was I sentenced to a term of imprisonment by a competent civilian court without the option of a fine, or a sentence involving discharge or dismissal was ever imposed upon me under the Code of Military Discipline, following obligations imposed by the statutory provisions of Section 59(1)(d) of the Defence Act to qualify the letter dated 17 August 2018. An effort to obey the applicable terms, number 4 Cable Hill Road, Simonstown 7975 of the letter dated 17 August 2018 from the Office of the Chief of the South African Navy, So a uniformed member of the South African National Defence Force unlawfully detained in a civilian prison. Such act or omission only proves that to believe and put to action the first applicable terms of the letter dated 17 August 2018 from Chief Navy only invites imprisonment. Security services of the Republic consist of a single defense force structured and managed as a disciplined military force, whose primary object is to defend and protect the Republic, its territorial integrity, and its people in accordance with the Constitution and the principles of international law regulating the use of force. It is these security services I demand peace in my life from. I ask that my family suffers no more as a result of the unlawful, intentional, and serious violation of my dignity, fama, or reputation, or corpus, physical security, or privacy. I am a person. I do feel pain. I do hate. And I do want to be happy raising my family in service and defense of my country and its people. I cannot fail or surrender to corruption, criminal activity, apartheid, or misconduct as a senior officer leading thousands of subordinates in the South African National Defence Force, and still accountable to all more than 60 million people in the Republic of South Africa. There is indeed a lot that must be explained, and it is correct to perform constitutional obligations diligently and without delay as provided for in Section 237 of the Constitution. I must admit, this matter is on public domain. The people of the universe await an end to this matter, as I do. I may not mislead you, say. Life goes on, and each and every day I have written a sworn statement on 24 February 2021, taking over as the sixth President of the Republic of South Africa. I do trust that all people are in jail as a result of a person writing a sworn statement against them. Equally so, in service and defense of my country and its people, I did write a sworn statement against the fifth president. It is in the sworn statement dated 24 February 2021, in defense and protection of the Constitution or the law, against all enemies, foreign and domestic, I, 99004046 MC, Lieutenant Commander Sylvester Volane Mangolele, took over as President of the Republic of South Africa, pending the dissolution of the 6th Parliament before expiry of its terms, as obligated by the provisions of Section 50 of the Constitution. In terms of Section 4 of the Constitution, I declare by proclamation the replacement of the terms, "Let us live and strive for freedom in South Africa, our land," with "Let us live and enjoy freedom in the universe, our home." The Universal Declaration of Human Rights and the supremacy of the Constitution and the rule of law prohibits any form or kind of slavery, and it is only a slave who lives and struggle, attempt, or strive for freedom in their land. The Bill of Rights is a cornerstone of democracy in the Republic of South Africa, And Lieutenant Commander Sylvester Wolane Mangolele is simply fulfilling the obligations imposed in terms of the provisions of Section 13 of the Constitution. And in any event, Lieutenant Commander Sylvester Wolane Mangolele does not obey a manifestly illegal order, as obligated in terms of Section 1996 of the Constitution, read with Section 2E of the Defence Act and the Code of Conduct for Uniformed Members of the South African National Defence Force, the defender and protector of the Republic of South Africa. It is this truth that is before the Chief of the South African National Defence Force as a function in the state of the Republic of South Africa. It is this truth that needs to be dealt with by General Rodzani Mapwanya. I have been in contact with his office earlier today and have received confirmation of an email stating that they have received this particular petition. My reality is in these particular terms. The reality of my country and its people are in these particular terms. Only the Constitution and the law must be upheld, respected, and defended as the supreme law of the Republic. It is what must happen. It is what people must do. The notion that people get happy when they succeed in not fulfilling the obligations imposed by the Constitution and sustain such as the reality of our Republic is what must come to an end. As such is corruption. As such is unacceptable if the Defence Force is true in its obligations and defense and protection of the Constitution. I cannot run away from my reality. I can only await your call and action that needs to happen. Action was taken for me to be in jail for a long time, for a crime committed by other people. My family suffers as a result. My country suffers as a result. I suffer as a result. There are many things that must be discussed, and so they shall be discussed. In discussing these particular things, it is a reality that we must face and a reality that we must deal with. And in dealing with this particular reality, we must come to pass the reality of our country and its people. We must deal with this particular reality of our country and its people. And it starts by providing me with suitable place to live and allowing me contact with my children, my family, country and its people. Papa Ute.